Hello everybody! Welcome to Agashi Review, where I review movies, dramas that you don't want to waste your time watching. I'll give you a synopsis, shorts review, along with my thoughts and opinions. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Now let's go into the review. Hello everybody, Agashi here. So today I'm doing a K-drama review on the drama called Brain Works or Brain Cooperation. I think that's the other title, but it's Cha Tae Hyun, and I just watched like the first 2 episodes with me, like here and there, but we were only able to watch the first 2 episodes, and do look forward to it. It's probably like out to like episode like 8 right now by this time, but catching up on it, and it's very similar to, in our opinion, kind of like the idea of it is like Mouse, with how Lisigi and the brain stuff like that, but this one, it has a little bit of twists and turns in there. It has it's comedy in there, it's mystery and everything like that. It's not as dark as Mouse, but anyways, it has a total of 16 episodes and it airs on Monday and Tuesday, and we were able to watch the first 2 episodes of it, so I'm gonna go over the cast and the synopsis and recap of the first 2 episodes with you guys. So as for our cast, we had Yong Hwa, or like how I just call him Yong Hwa because Running Man called him that. He plays Shin Ha-ru. We had Cha Tae Hyun playing Kun Myung-seng, and Hwak Sang-young playing So Soo-jung, and Yi Ji-won playing Kim Mo-rang, Jang Dong-hwan playing Hwang Dong-woo, and then Woo Hyun playing Kim Gil-jung, and Kim Soo-jin playing Shin Jin-hyung, and then there's Im Cho-hyun playing Park Ji-koo, and there's like other professors, other guest roles, the daughter, other doctors, assistants, all that. But as for the synopsis, Shin Ha-ru works as a neuroscientist. He comes from a family of 3 generations of doctors, and he inherited all the wealth from his family. He is a confident person who acts and speaks according to his convictions. He has no mercy for people he sees or views as not worthy enough to him. And then there's Kun Myung-se, who is a detective. He acts and speaks like however he wants, and he's not familiar with a lot of things, and he just kind of like takes assumptions and does all these things. He's kind of like all over the place, you know. But in reality, he's a very kind and righteous detective who always wants to help his community. And he was once married, and now he's like, you know, trying to make a living for his daughter, and always trying to save his wife from troubles. But the two of them end up having to work together and solving criminal cases together with the help of their team captain or team leader, who is like a hypnotic, introvert-ish kind of person. But that's the synopsis of it. So the drama starts us off with actually at a concert, and one of the guy he's the guitar for a singer, and he has Parkinson's disease, and it gets explained later, but he has Parkinson's disease and he's not getting any better. It's not working, so he's like, you know, if anything was to happen to me, I want to just die happily on the stage, you know. So he bought off like the market a bracelet that will counterattack his disease, and he asked his wife to, you know, jump up the frequency so that he can, you know, play, and if anything, just kill him on stage. It's okay. That's where he wants to pass away. Well, the wife is holding onto the phone, and she moves the frequency up, and he dies, and he passes out on stage. And it gets very suspicious because there's the wife, and then there's his personal doctor who's in the what is it? The audience. I'm like, in the what? In the audience, where she just comes running up saying, "I'm his personal doctor, let me through." And he's dead. The guy is now dead. And then the doctor tells the wife, like, "You killed him." So that becomes a case that is passed on to Kim Se-moo and his team. And his team is only consists of him and his captain, Jung. So you know, they have to take on this case, and they were like, okay, you know, asking the wife all these questions, because it's like now there's the manager, the wife, and the doctor who's the three prime suspect, and they find out obviously about the bracelet and his Parkinson's disease, and it's like, but the wife is like, you know, I killed him, but it's kind of like, well, you know, what made you killed him, you know, it doesn't make sense, all this stuff like that. So that's their case, and they have to solve it because it's a big one, and it's out in the media, everybody is like very interested in it, and they're like, oh, you know, the wife is the murderer. Well, this case gets brought up to Shin Ha-ru, and he's like, no, there's no way the wife is a murderer. It's obvious. And like his assistant's like, I don't get it. How can you tell just by looking at that? He goes, there's a lot of things in the scene that fans film the incident that indicates that none of these people here are the murderer, and we have to find out. But we see him, he's actually on his way to jail, and you know, a lot of the criminals there are psychopaths. He bargains with them to sign the consent over that after they died or they go through their death penalty, he gets their brain. So he works at brain hub or brain something, the company, and he's one of the best neuroscientists over there, and he's made so much money, and so many people invested in the company, and he's like the face of it. Well, he always tries to get all these brains because he's trying to work on a project where he's going to pretty much, it gets explained to us, trying to understand how a psychopath's brain work. And we learn why he even does that is because he's a son of a psychopath. So his dad is in jail, and his dad is like the biggest like psychopath, and he's the son of it. So it's kind of like in Mouse how Lee Siggy is the son of a psychopath, a psycho killer, whatever like that. And so they determined that the gene, you know, that he has it in him. The mom didn't want to give birth to him, but the mom gave birth to him, and she tried to steer him away from it, but regardless he still turned into one, and later he gets his brain swapped, and we, you know, all these things like that in Mouse. Well, it's like this in this, where he's trying to not become that, and he's studying the brains of psychopaths to see what triggers them to be a psychopath as they grow up. If it's determined in their genes that they're going to be that way, what can stop them, you know? And he studies that. It's because he has it in him. So it's that. But yeah, so he's okay. Because of this case, the big case going on right now with the famous guitar idol and the wife and all stuff like that getting killed. So he agrees to, you know, okay, yeah, work with the detective to determine if they can, you know, do some test brains, kind of like psychology stuff on this case to kind of help them. So as the detective goes to Brain Hub or Brainwork, whatever, to talk to Shin Ha-ru, he gets mixed in an incident with them. So when Shin Ha-ru went to the jail to get the consent signed by the psychopath killer, he ate the papers. So basically he doesn't have proof that this dude died, he's gonna get the brain. Well, he forged it, and when the guy died and then they brought him over to the company, the workplace, Haru was going to take the brain, but his assistants are like, we don't even have his consent. Like, he ate it. Like, you don't have proof that you can keep his brain. So he's like, I don't care. Like, this is not forgery. This is the real one. So he asked the detective to fake be in the bed to act like the dead psychopath person that he was gonna get the brain, while he takes the real person and go get the brain himself out, and his assistant is supposed to divert everybody's attention away. And obviously like Ajishi and I were like, we can't believe it, Cha Tae Hyun allowed them to shave part of his head because his head got shaved, and then they learned that Haru forged everything, and Haru took their brain for his project and all this stuff like that. And so it creates like a big mess, and first impression didn't go well between Haru and Detective Kun, so they don't start off well then. And obviously Haru is now on the edge of, okay, the company is going to pretty much, board of directors is gonna see whether they want to keep him or not, because he actually, even though he had that consent paper signed, there's no proof because it got destroyed. The person ate it. So basically they're like, what he did was kind of like, you know, against a person's will, against the company's will and everything like that. So at the end of episode 1, they end up what is it after she fired him? Fired him from, basically they fired him from the company, right? Yeah, so he left. Haru got fired. Everybody agreed, like anonymously agreed, voted to fire him, and he left. But obviously the other doctor there, Shin Jung Hyun, is like, you know, brain hubs, brain works is everything to Haru, and Haru is so smart. Other companies wants him, other hospital wants him, but he wants to be here. So there's a reason why Haru wants to be there. But in order for Haru to be able to come back, he has to go do serve charity. So he ends up being a consultant for the police, the detectives, and he ends up joining what is it, Detective Kum's team. And by joining Detective Kum's team, the two of them obviously don't get along in the first place, but they end up trying to solve what actually happened. And it's we learned that this case of the guitar idol guy, the wife has a disease. I don't know what the disease is, but whatever people put in her brain, she thinks that actually does happen. Or like when people say, oh yeah, remember I met you at this and this party and we did this and this. She goes, yes, I did meet you. And then like, you remember we were talking about this and this? She goes, oh, of course, it was such a lovely party. So that's her disease, is whatever people tells her, it sticks in her, and she's an alcoholic too. So, and we also learned that the husband, the guitar idol, him and the wife was going to get a divorce, but the wife refuses to, and he started having an affair with his personal doctor, who was treating him and his Parkinson's disease, who was also at the concert. So there was a love triangle between them, and Haru figured all that out. That's why when Haru watched the video in the first place, Haru said the two of them were not the murderer. They did not kill him. There's a third person who killed him. And they're like, it's the manager. But, you know, the manager has all these alibis that the manager was there, but the manager stepped out to be on the phone with his wife, so he wasn't even there. And the only person who had control to the bracelet was the wife. So what made the wife wanted to kill him? Like, and so it's like, she's not in the correct mind too, and obviously the doctor is in love with him. The doctor wouldn't kill him, so stuff like that. So both the wife and the girlfriend wasn't going to kill him, and we learned that the manager was the one who killed him. So basically the manager, he made a lot of money off of the guitar idol. And when things were not going well and the guitar idol had the Parkinson's disease, he's like, okay, you know, I can't make money off of him. He's having an affair. His wife is an alcoholic. I'm going to lose a lot of money from him, and my agency is going to take a crash. So, learning that the wife and the guitar guy, they bought off a bracelet off of the market, he decides to use the wife, because the wife has this disease as well, to tell the wife, kill him. So because the wife was already in a mental state where she's not good, he basically was just like, just kill him, so I can get rid of him and I can get another idol in and I can make him a star. So basically the manager was the murderer to all of this. Case closed. The manager gets goes to obviously get locked up for doing this, and then that was like the first case. And obviously throughout all of this, Haru and Detective Kum, they don't get along. They're always bumping head, making bets. Like, if this is correct, if I'm right, I get to slap you, I get to flick you in the forehead. And so they're like bumping heads all the time. And Haru keeps saying that people keeps coming and giving money to Detective Kum. So Haru's like, he's a very dirty cop taking bribes. And Atsushi's like, no, he's gonna ruin it. It's his PI. Because Haru doesn't know anything about detective stuff. And we learned that Detective Kum, he's actually a very good detective. He's really nice, and he's really kind-hearted to a lot of his people and to his town and everything like that. So these people who keeps coming to give him money, they're not PIs, or he's not taking bribery, or he's not like a dirty cop. These are like criminals who, not really bad criminals, but they were like they have bad credits or they got falsely accused and stuff like that, and when they come back out, or they have like things were bad on their record, so they can't get loans, they can't get investment. So what Detective Kun does is he allows them to take loans with his name to start their companies, their restaurants, and when they make money, they pay him back for installment to pay off the loans that he loaned off to them. So here and there, that's where they come and they bring money, and he doesn't charge interest. He just like, just pay me whenever you can, you know. So Haru doesn't know this, and Haru decides to take pictures and leak it out to the media so that he can get rid of Detective Kun, hurry up and finish off his charity volunteer and go back to his original workplace. And then opens up, Detective Kun gets a big recognition. What's the word? Recognition. What is it? Recognition that he's a good doctor. I mean, he's a good detective. And Haru was like, what the hell, you know? So the two of them are just like bumping heads constantly and all things like that. And like the next, you know, and then as the episode goes on, there's like different cases that they solve and they learn, and more people come onto their team and like all these stuff like that. So like each 2 episode ish kind of way it takes you to a new case they solve, and it shows you how detective work and how kind of like Haru works in terms of the brain. So in a way, this is like, it's like I was saying to Ajashi, it's like an intake of like Mouth and other like TV shows where we watch, like, you know, Criminal Minds, Dr. Lightman Lied to Me, The Mentalist, all things like that, with like, you know, all of this, like, 'cause that's Haru's piece, and then how it adapts to Mouth is Haru is trying to study the psychopath kind of like brain works and stuff like that. So far it's good. It's hilarious, but you know, obviously it's like they have a lot of their bromance stuff, and like, and I saw a clip in like episode 3, they end up getting locked up in like one of the freezer, and they have their bromance, hugging each other, body heat to stay warm. It's funny, but it's just like, whoa, you know. And so we like, I like it. It's funny so far, and I enjoy this. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna keep watching it, and obviously, you know, let it air a couple more episodes so we could just watch it in one go, instead of trying to be like, oh my god, like trying to determine what's gonna happen next. But so far the first 2 episodes is great, catches our attention. We liked it, we enjoyed it, so we do look forward to see what's gonna happen. And obviously we're those type of people, we like these comedy, mystery, drama-ish kind of way, TV show-ish kind of way. So, and obviously to see I don't know, obviously it's the first time for Atashi seeing Yong Hwa acting, but to me, I've seen his acting before, and for him to act this role, he's matured a lot, and he really sells the Shin Haru's character versus his other dramas where I've seen where he kind of just plays the young idol he is, you know. So he kind of just plays those young idols, and he has kind of like, you know, dramas here and there that is just kind of like, you can kind of see it's just Yong Hwa playing, while this one is, you're not seeing Yong Hwa's like real life character, you're seeing Shin Haru, who is Shin Haru. So it's actually really good, and we really like it. And obviously, like Ajashi said, Cha Tae Hyun, he never fails to disappoint us in his drama, you know. Ajashi really like loves a lot of his acting, a lot of his drama, you know. Obviously the previous one we watched was like Police University, and Ajashi really loved it. It was a great drama, and we like, wow, everything was just amazing to us. And obviously the OST actor, she loves it in that one too. So, and like how this dude, we're like, he's old, he's like about to be 50, but like, my gosh, he's so not stressed at all, and he's aging so well. We were talking about it, like, wow, like all these years seeing him from, obviously I've seen him from day one of his acting, and she's seen him from Family Outing and on, and she's just like, oh my god, like he looks the same from when back then. So it's just amazing to see him coming back with another drama, and he's always acting with different people and stuff like that. And a lot of the people we see in here were like how their chief at the detective were like, she goes, isn't that dude in Alchemy of Soul? I'm like, yes, he's one of the master that he's one of the master that got banded at the mountain and all stuff like that. But Anyways, blabbering on for too long. It is a really good drama. We watched obviously the first 2 episodes. I watched into the other episodes already and really do look forward to it. And if you guys want to know the ending on how this drama ends, let us know in the comments below and we'll do an ending review as well. But that's it for today and I'll see you guys next time.